Chumash Vayikra starts this week. Vayikra, a new Chumash with the word Vayikra, and everybody knows that the word Vayikra has a small aleph. And most of us know the famous Rashi that Moshe was humble, and that's why when he wrote the word Vayikra, he wrote it with a small aleph. I remember back in 10th grade in Scranton, Pennsylvania, I was walking in the street, and clearly an anti-Semite came over to me, saw my kippah, and said, "Hey, a Hebrew, are you a Hebrew? Do you have horns?" I immediately responded. I said, "Yes, all Jews have horns." Well, the males do. But we have them here in America surgically removed. And that's why I wear this kippah. You see, the kippah covers my stumps. Do you want to see my stumps? And I took my kippah off, and I ran towards him with my head, and he ran straight into his house screaming. And all my friends thought I was the coolest guy ever. And then the rabbi calls me into his office, and he says, "Jensen, you think that was funny? You think that was..." I said, "Rebbe, he was an anti-Semite." He says, "Listen, non-Jews believe that Jews have horns." He shows me a picture of Michelangelo. He says, "This statue stands today in Rome, a picture of Moses with horns." And I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "Well, Michelangelo looked at the Torah, saw the word Quran, and instead of translating the word Quran as glow, he translated the word as karnaim, as Karen, as a horn. And that's why." He says, "It was not a good thing what you did." I want to go back a little bit to the word Vayikra and the humility of Moshe and the commandment that Hashem told Moshe to write the Sefer Torah. You see, we know that Moshe is the humblest of all men. The humblest? How can we say he's the most humble? Well, because a homeless person saying he's humble is weird. He's not humble, he's homeless. But a great person like Moshe, one who spoke to Hashem face to face, now that we can say he's the most humble person. The Midrash says that when Hashem commanded Moshe to write the Torah, he asked him to take exactly this amount of ink, this quill, this amount of parchment, and start to write. And at the end, after Moshe finished the whole Torah, there was a little smudge of ink left. Where was that little smudge of ink from? It was from the little difference between the small aleph and the big aleph. Hashem took that smudge, put it on Moshe's face, and that's why he had this shine. Ki karan or Pnei Moshe. He shined so much that the people of Israel couldn't even look into his face. He had to wear a mask. Now, why this time did Moshe Rabbeinu make a small aleph? Weren't there many times that Hashem spoke to Moshe? Vayomer Hashem al Moshe, Vayidaber Hashem al Moshe. Why pitom this time, Vayikra el Moshe, does he make a small aleph? Does he show his humility? You see, I explain it this way. When a teacher or a principal or someone of authority speaks to somebody, says something to somebody, sees them in the street and says hello, or says to the person, "I want to speak to you," Vayomer, Vayidaber, it's different. But when that person calls your home and says, "Hey, can I speak to so-and-so?" The principal is calling my home? He wants to speak to me? Vayikra? Hashem wanted to call Moshe, not just speak to him, not just say. And because of that difference in level of the interaction between Hashem and Moshe, because he called him and not just spoke to him, that's why Moshe couldn't take it and he had to write a small aleph to show his humility. If Moshe Rabbeinu, who spoke to Hashem one-on-one, can show this humility, certainly we must do our best to show our humility. Shabbat Shalom.